Yo, you lot, you have no idea how long I've been waiting for this. So, Sony has just announced the mid-gen upgrade for the PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 5 Pro. So, whatever previous issues that the developers had for the original PlayStation 5, I reckon the legend himself, Mark Cerny, is going to see if he can find a solution to all of these problems because you know what? With all the specs that we've been seeing so far, I think it's going to be a hype thing. I can't wait. So, yeah, let's check out the technical presentation for the PlayStation 5 Pro, hosted by Mark Cerny. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Mark Cerny. I'm excited to be here to talk about the newest addition to our console lineup, PlayStation 5 Pro, and how it advances gaming technology. But first, I want to take just a minute to look at what we put in the original PlayStation 5
Oh yeah, I put
and how
the
it
sub on for you
delivers
lot
an
as well,
exceptional gaming
just to be
experience.
sure.
When PS5 debuted in 2020, it brought a lot to the table. 8 Zen 2 CPU cores form the brains of PlayStation 5 and enable high-speed complex gameplay, with character counts reaching into the hundreds.
Yeah, compared to the Zen 3 CPUs for the other PCs,
120 frames a second.
this one isn't half bad. The Zen 2 isn't really half bad, especially when it
which can render
actually,
from intricate details
especially when it,
worlds with vast panoramas to explore.
especially when it was able to
including reflections off of
run
water or glass,
Unreal Engine 5,
and
which
the realism that comes
is
from
which isn't an easy feat, even though that the original, even though that the UE5 is designed to make the development easier. But the fact that they were able to produce all of these amazing games with fast loading speeds and all that, it's just amazing.
Paralleled sense of immersion to the sound of the game.
That's Demon Souls remake.
With audio so real, you
I don't know how many times I died in that game. And Returnal, I really wanted to play this game for quite some time.
Finally, the DualSense controller has haptics that let you feel through your hands what your character is.
Yeah, that controller revolutionizes
it's wonderful
gaming
to
for a
see
bit
such
because of its haptic feedback. So whatever you're feeling in your game world, whether it's God of War or Call of Duty, like it realistically gives you like different sort of vibrations.
The dreams of the developers are bigger than can be supported
Wow.
at 60 frames per second, and that leads to an aspect of modern gaming that we're all familiar with: graphics modes. It can be a difficult choice for players. Fidelity modes emphasize the visuals, typically through higher resolution rendering.
Yeah,
These modes might also
so
have
if you got
enhanced
yourself a
detail
4K
use more
or
ray tracing.
heaven forbid an
But the
8K
games only run
display,
at 30 frames per
and
second.
as
The
long as
visuals
you're
can
not
be choppy,
streaming
and
or
the
as long as you
controls
got
less
like a
responsive.
really beefy
Performance modes emphasize frame rate and interactivity,
streaming
typically
setup,
choosing to run at 60 frames per second.
I think fidelity mode is the right
Mainly
one,
by
but
reducing
performance
the graphical
mode
detail
really
until those
helps
frame
out a
rates
lot,
can
so
be
that
achieved.
we'll be able to play all of these games.
When asked to decide on a mode,
Not
players are
only in
choosing
good graphics
performance about
and
3/4 of
in
the
a
time.
bit of ray tracing,
Removing that
but
decision, or at least
most of the games are
narrowing
going to
that
be like
divide, was
60
one of
to
the key
120 frames
targets
per
for
second.
PlayStation 5 Pro. We want to give players the graphics that the game creators aspire to, at the high frame rates that players typically prefer.
Yeah,
To
that's the
do
main
that,
target of the
PS5
PlayStation 5 Pro,
substantially improves over PlayStation 5
which I
in
definitely
3 ways.
appreciate.
Here's what we call the big 3.
Okay, larger CPU, advanced space,
First, we made the
training,
GPU
and
much
I
larger
wasn't able
and
to read it in
increased the
time.
speed of the memory it uses.
Okay.
The result is rendering that's up to 45% faster.
More is definitely more in this
Second,
one.
we made major upgrades to the ray tracing, taking a streamlined and accelerated approach that allows calculation of the rays at double or even triple the speeds of PlayStation 5.
Brilliant.
And finally, we added custom hardware for machine learning and an AI library called PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution, or PSSR for short. PSSR
I think it's
analyzes
similar
the game
to
images pixel by pixel and can add an extraordinary
that
amount of detail,
super scaling
which boosts
from
the effective
NVIDIA.
resolution of the games. Game
that
creators are adding
that
PS5
definitely
Pro
will help a
support
lot,
to
so
new
that you'll
and
be able to
existing
play
titles. And with the big
these
fee
games
involved,
at
the
highest
results can be
fidelity
pretty amazing. With graphics
with
showing
the high
something
frame
like
rate.
fidelity
So
levels of
yeah,
detail,
yeah,
but
that's
it's double
actually a
frame
really
rate.
good idea from
Here's The Last
Mark
of Us
Cerny, yeah.
Part 2 running on
And
PS5
yeah, this is
Pro.
actually the footage from
It has
PlayStation
huge
5
amounts
Pro.
of detail and targets a super smooth 60
Last of Us
frames per
Part
second.
2.
Let's compare
Yeah,
this to the
this
fidelity
game
mode on
has hit-
PS5,
this game
which is
hit
only
different
running
when
at
I played
30
it.
frames per second and is therefore much choppier.
And wow,
This goal of delivering almost
gotta say,
fidelity-like graphics at performance frame rates
Mr.
has been
Cerny has
achieved
definitely
through a
done his
broad set of
homework
titles, including
in a
Marvel's
good
Spider-Man
way,
2,
fam. Look at this. All of these
and
graphics,
Ratchet
you'll be
and
able to
Clank
run
Rift
them
Apart.
at
We
the
can see that
highest
PS5
frame rate.
Pro is close to doubling the power of PlayStation 5. Another way to compare the two consoles is to look at PS5 Pro versus Performance mode on PS5, both of which target 60 frames per second. What we see here is a difference in detail. PS5 Pro is much sharper and crisper than PS5. For
Yeah, I
this,
can
my
definitely
favorite
see
is the
the
parade
difference.
scene from Ratchet and Clank. Distant details are much clearer. And here we can see Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is noticeably higher resolution throughout the scene, including the trees and procedural cars.
Wow. And the ray tracing is
So
actually
overall,
there,
some
blood.
remarkable improvement to the games. On PS5 Pro, we can see increased sharpness to the graphics, or smoother and more
I
responsive.
think this is also good for
This is the
streamers
big
as well,
thing
because
Sony
when you
has
wanted to
As you've been seeing, machine learning
stream
via
the new
PSSR
games
library is
and
being used
you
quite
want to give
broadly
the
to add
audience
pixel
its
detail
highest
and boost
quality,
frame rate.
as long as you got
But there are as
yourself
many
a really
approaches
good
as there
capture
are
card,
game engines.
you'll be able
The increase
to
in raw GPU
play these
power is being
games
especially
at, even on
effective for
4K
Horizon Forbidden West.
at
Apart from the
60
detail
frames
boost
per
that extra
second, so
graphics power is allowing for
wow.
improvements to lighting and visual effects,
And let's not forget Horizon, man. When I first played
as
this
well
game,
as to
I
the
thought
hair of
that
the skin in cinematics.
yo,
Open
this
up,
game
guys.
doesn't get
Door
any
service.
much
for me.
higher than this in terms of production values.
Ray tracing is finding broad usage as well, particularly when the games are focused on higher frame rates. The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference, allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in
Yeah, like I
gameplay,
mentioned with
while continuing to support
the
their
Spider-Man
targeted
2
60
footage
frames per second.
that they showed just now.
That boost
when
in ray
I
tracing
see the
is also
reflection
delivering
on
big
the
wins for Hogwarts Legacy,
car
allowing
windscreen.
not only for better reflections and a greater
Yeah, you
variety
can
of
definitely
reflective
tell the
surfaces,
difference
but
in
also
terms
for
of the
further
reflections
realism
thanks
in
to
the
its
casting of
powerful ray
shadows.
tracing. So
I hope you've enjoyed this run-through of the technology
that
behind
definitely
PlayStation
helps out a
5
lot in
Simply
its
put, it's the most powerful console we've ever built,
in
and
visual
a worthy
fidelity
addition to the
and
PS5
the visual
Let me
storytelling
wrap
that
this up by giving you a quick look at
that the
a number of
developers
things
wanted to
running
make.
on the new console.
Let's see the build. Wow,
Don't let me hang it.
that looks mad. But no disk drive though, yeah? Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth running on PlayStation 4 Pro as well.
Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
Okay.
This is going to be a game changer, fam.
Did I do it? Oh, what is this? What's with all the neon?
Alan Wake 2! Oh my gosh. And Assassin's Creed Shadows. Yo, I had second thoughts on mid-gen upgrades with my experience with the PlayStation 4 Pro. Pleasant though it is, I think this might be a game changer, like I said, because of how passionate they are in making all of these changes, which are beneficial for both gamers and developers. So I kind of like what Sony is doing with this. £700 though. I need to save my wallet. Might need to save some money on this one. Sorry, you guys got this.